Hey guys, I thought I'd try something a little bit different for this video. Most of my videos have been unboxings or Mac or iOS tutorials and reviews, but for a change I thought I'd maybe upload an office tour. Just walking through the doorway, as you can see it's quite a small room. Starting with the left hand side, there's a couple of bookcases. These are from Ikea. Starting with the first one, just on top here we have a house plant. There's a collection of iPods there. The one on the right hand side is an iPhone 3GS. I'll put specifications to these in the description. Next to those we've got a little Lego Macintosh classic computer there. I got this online. I can't actually remember the name of the website that I got it from, but I will again put a link to that website in the description below. Moving down to the shelf just below that, I'm quite a fan of retro video games, in particular Sega. So on this first shelf there is a collection of Sega Dreamcast games. There are some, the ones in the blue cases are PAL games, and then the rest of them are Japanese and American games. Beneath that there's a small collection of Japanese Sega Saturn games. Okay, so next to those there's a little figurine of Sonic the Hedgehog, which I got off of Amazon. Alongside those there's a collection of Amiga CD32 games. Okay, below that we have a collection of Sega Genesis games. Moving along, some PS3 games, and then alongside those are some Windows and Mac games. I do use Windows on my Mac running under a virtual machine. Okay, and then on the bottom shelf got a magazine holder there, magazine file. Alongside are some books. They're mostly about computing, so web design, Linux, Mac, some books there about Steve Jobs and Apple, and also some books about Commodore. Next to those I've got some storage boxes. These are also from Ikea. And then moving on to the next bookcase, on top of that we've got some house plants. Here is a collection of Apple boxes. I know a lot of people who purchase Apple products like to keep the boxes because Apple do make really good packaging. So I've got some of the boxes on display here. These aren't all of the boxes that I've got, but it's just a selection. So we've got the box for the iPhone 3GS at the front there. Just behind that is the box for the iPhone 6, which I did an unboxing video of a couple of months back. Next to that there's a box just at the top. I don't know if you can make that out. That's for the Magic Trackpad. There's the box for the iPod 20GB model, which is just on the shelf there. that is standing on top of a very early Mac Mini. This is one of the PowerPC models, so this is has a G4 processor. And then next to that we've got the box for the Apple TV. I believe this is the 3rd generation. So moving on to the next shelf, we've got a collection of Mac OS X install discs. This is actually a full collection. I've got the Mac OS X version 1, which I think was codename Cheetah, so that's version 10.1. Got version 10.2 Jaguar, version 10.3 Panther, Tiger. Also got Leopard and Snow Leopard discs there as well. Now, Snow Leopard was the last version of OS X to be released on disc, starting with Mountain Lion. All versions of OS X were released via download, and I've actually got all of those stored on SD cards, so those are bootable SD cards. I've also made a video about how to create an OS X bootable SD card or storage USB storage device if you want to check that out. Next to that, another iPod box. That's for the 60GB model. A small classic Macintosh thing. I don't know what you call that. That's actually made out of paper. On top of the iPod box is normally where I keep my my camera, which is a Canon EOS M. Now obviously that's what I'm using to film this, to record this video, so it's not there at the moment, but gives you an idea. Okay, moving on to the next shelf. We've got one of 2 Power Mac G4 cubes. This model does actually work, although it isn't in the best cosmetic condition. I don't know if you can pick up on this video, but there are a few scuffs and scratches to that, so I keep it mainly for the display purposes. Alongside that, I've got a book and also magazine storage there as well. Okay, so just moving around, another house plant there. This is my office chair, which I got from Argos some years ago. So it's lasted pretty well. It's fairly comfortable. On top of that is my Mac Finder cushion. This is from a company called Throwboy Pillows. I'll put a link to them down below. They make some really cool tech themed pillows. You'll see a couple more within this video. Okay, now this is my primary computer, so this is what I use for editing all of the videos that you see that I've uploaded to YouTube. This is a 2010 Mac Pro. I'll put the full specs in the description, but it is currently installed with 16GB of RAM, and it's running a quad-core Xenon processor. It also has 6 hard disks installed. There's actually 4 hard drive bays in this machine. They are all occupied by 1TB 3.5 inch hard disks. I've actually removed the internal DVD drive from this Mac, so that top slot there, which is normally where the DVDs would eject from, behind that I've installed a 250GB SSD, and then in the bay just below that there is a 500GB laptop hard drive. So I've got quite a lot of storage in that machine. So now moving on to my desk. Okay, this was purchased from Argos. The actual white surface on top was placed on top of the actual desk, mainly because it just gives a better surface for shooting video on. So at some point over the next year I plan to replace this desk with an all white model just to complement the rest of the room, but for now it serves its purpose pretty well. So starting in the if we just have a look in the cupboard on the left hand side, first thing you can see is two MacBooks there. The one on top is a MacBook G3, and then the one below that is a PowerBook G4. So again, if you want full sort of specifications on those, I'll put them in the description below. They both work, by the way, so that's really cool. Beneath that we have a Macintosh Quadra 700. That is running Mac OS 8, I believe, and again that is in full working order. I'll again post specifications on that. If anyone would be interested in seeing a video about some of these sort of classic Apple computers, let me know, and I'll get some of those uploaded. The full-size Apple wired keyboard, just there. I would like one of the Bluetooth wireless keyboards, but I don't like that Apple only make the the shorter version. I tend to use the numeric keypad quite a bit, and it's quite handy, I find, just to have that numeric keypad. So I think it's just a shame that Apple don't make, or no longer make, a full-size wireless keyboard, but there we go. So moving on to the desk, I've got a dual monitor display. These are two 24-inch Dell monitors. Can't remember the exact model numbers, but I will post that in the description box below. At first I was a bit concerned that the glossy display would be a bit distracting, but actually the reflections aren't too bad, so that's pretty cool. Next to that we have the 12 South HiRise stand, which I use when charging my iPhone 6 or my iPod Touch or iPad mini. Also have I'm not quite sure how you pronounce this, I think it's pronounced Huion, who knows, but anyway, this is a graphics tablet which is really useful for when I'm editing photos and doing a bit of graphic design. So actually really likes it like this. It works really well, so I'm really pleased with it. There's the pen that you use with it. It's got a replaceable nib, two buttons on the side, so That works really well. Got the Apple Magic trackpad there. I've only actually had this for a couple of weeks now, so I'm kind of getting used to using it now. I still tend to revert back to using the Magic Mouse, but I do actually like using the trackpad more for certain applications. Oh yeah, just going back to the monitors here. They're both connected up to the Mac Pro via HDMI. So when I'm using the Mac Pro, I can use that in dual monitor mode. The one on the left is also connected via VGA cable to the Macintosh Quadra 700, and as I say, that computer works, so I can actually use that computer without having to swap out cables. The one on the right is also connected via VGA cable to the Power Macintosh G4 Cube, which is just alongside there. So it's really good being able to just switch between those different inputs depending on which computer I'm using. Admittedly, the Quadra 700 and the G4 Cube don't get a lot of use anymore. Obviously they are quite old computers, but it's nice just to be able to power them up from time to time without having to, keep swapping cables around. So just moving on to the shelf just below the desk there, got the router there, which is a XL. Not sure of the exact model. It's quite an old router, but it still works. It still works well. Got a couple of coasters that are designed to look like old floppy disks. Store the Magic Mouse there when I'm not using it, and then there's also a second full-size wide keyboard which is connected to the G4 Cube, along with a Microsoft laptop mouse. And then below that there's just a couple of drawers there with a load of junk in there so I'm not going to show you all that. Next to that I've got some cupboards just for general storage. Another white surface on the top here, which you probably recognise from when I'm doing some of my unboxing and review videos. This is where I tend to position the camera. As you can see, there's not a great deal of room there, so it can be difficult to actually get a kind of a decent shot of some of those unboxings. So I hope they look okay to you guys when you're viewing them. Got an Apple time capsule with a 1 terabyte hard drive. At some point I am looking at replacing that hard drive with a larger capacity model, maybe 2 or 3 terabytes. And then here we have a fully working Power Macintosh G4 Cube. This is actually in really good condition. The one I showed you earlier on the bookshelf is a little bit scuffed up and everything, although it does still work. But this one is just in great condition considering its age. I mean, this would have been released around 2001, I believe. So, that's in really good condition. It's currently running 2 operating systems, OS X, Tiger and Leopard. It comes with these speakers which were designed by Harman Kardon, and they actually produce a really good sound. I really like those. It's just such a shame that Apple don't produce, or at least don't include speakers like this with their current Mac, their current desktop Macs, because they really do sound amazing. And then alongside that we have a Macintosh Classic 2, again in full working order. This is running Mac OS 7. I have made a video about this computer, so if you want to check that out. The mouse has actually been signed by Steve Wozniak, and I got this off of a website called Signed by Woz, which basically sells a lot of merchandise which has been signed by Steve Wozniak. I'll put the link to that in the description below. Another houseplant. Kind of like houseplants, you've probably picked up on that by now. And then just above that we've got a notice board with just a load of just stuff that I've collected and stuck on the wall. Just above my monitors there is a this picture here of the two robots. If you go onto there's a website, I'll put a link below for I think it's called Vlad Studios, and he does some of these great artwork which you can order framed. This is just one of many different pieces of artwork that you can buy off of the site. The great thing is all of these are available as well as desktop backgrounds, so you can actually sort of match them up with your what's being displayed on your Mac or your PC or whatever. Also, I don't know if you notice this clock here, which isn't actually working at the moment, but that is basically made from the processor cover from a Power Mac G5, and I got this from a company called, the name is just gone, but I got this online. I can't remember the name of the company that I got it from, but as soon as I do, I'll put a link in the description below. And then moving back towards where we started, this poster on the wall here, don't know if you can see that, Happy Birthday Mac. This I got this off of eBay. This is actually a poster from an Apple store, and that would have been displayed earlier in the year to celebrate the 30th anniversary of the original Macintosh computer. So I just got that put in a fairly cheap frame which I got off of Amazon, but I think that looks pretty good there. And then last of all, on the back of the door we've got some of these little plush key rings, and these are called Throw Babies, and as you can see they're based on sort of popular emojis. So again, there's a link to the description, there's a link to the website where you can purchase these in the description below. Well, that kind of brings this office tour to an end. I hope you found it interesting. As I say, this is the first office tour that I've ever done, so I hope you found it interesting. Let me know in the comments below if you'd like to see more of this kind of video, or if there's anything that I've featured in this video that you would like to see me perhaps make a more in-depth video about. Again, let me know. Well, if everything has gone to plan, this video will be uploaded on Christmas Eve. So if you're watching this on Christmas Eve, have a Merry Christmas if you're into all that sort of thing, and a good New Year. And oh, thanks for watching.